Howdy y'all, this is Harley Reg McDaniel Jr. and welcome all seekers of truth to podcast number 20, The Review. Today we will briefly review the last 9 podcasts and what was covered in each of them. We begin the podcast number 11 with Dr. McMakin's book, The Resonance Effect, involving 25 years of research using frequencies. I read a detailed list of 30 deviations from normal by name that were successfully treated, as well as another 9 that were separately published papers after the book came out. In podcast 12, we continued by quoting from the book about shingles, pain, acne, and restoring brain function from auto accidents. I also mentioned about animal studies that cannot have a placebo effect. In podcast 13, we talked about the reduction of a complete elimination of prolonged stress with the restoration of the adrenal glands, and that there is a concussion protocol. We discussed the neutralization of viruses, bladder infections, and how damaged tissues recover quickly. In number 14, I revealed my personal successful experiences with over 1,000 clients in 2020, which is why I do this podcast. Deviations from normal, such as sleep disorders, depression, pain relief, and a locked shoulder becoming unseized, and the lymph nodes reacting in a positive way, were some of the things we discussed in that podcast. Experiences you can have with anyone around you if you just share the technology and the products Ascend Sciences International has to offer. If you can find folks who can push on an app on a phone and can swallow food, then you can have even more success stories occur in your portfolio of experiences than I already have, believe it or not. In podcast 15, we picked up again with Dr. McMakin's book, where I read about success with nerve pain, diabetic wounds, liver disease, ulcerative colitis, and asthma, and how it's all based on science. In podcast 16, I discussed specifically how this high-tech technology works based on science, and how it can increase ATP levels over 500%. How the body can fix just about anything using the DNA with the right frequencies from your food, your supplements, and this technology. In Pod 17, I read testimonials from other doctors and health practitioners who use this technology in their practices. How out of 1,500 appointments, this was the only thing that worked according to one patient. We also talked about dealing with traumatic brain injuries successfully, and finally the support and balancing of the immune system. In number 18, I revealed a study by the Journal of American Nutraceutical Association that 50% of all nutraceuticals on the market contain toxic substances, that garlic, aloe vera, and phytonutrients had the most positive effects, of which 2 are in Ascend Sciences products. Garlic is not in there. Finally, in podcast 19, I read how Dr. McDaniel testified before Congress on the effects of glyconutrients on bioterrorism with no side effects, and making someone virtually bulletproof to viruses and bacteria infections. Well, we're all out of time again. If you want to cut to the chase, ask the person who invited you to my podcast to get the answers to the questions you might have, to make an educated decision as to whether you'd like to be involved with us or not. And I hope you will share me with your friends, because I only provide scientifically proven, life-changing, and life-saving information every single time. To close, I wish to end with the usual parable by John Greenleaf Whittier, who was a Quaker. I lift thee, and thee lift me, and together we ascend. See you all next time.